Good morning, Year 3-4. Welcome to the Happiness Project, the first lesson in our 2021 project for our artwork. And we are going to be thinking about abstract art and the process in creating abstract art. So we're going to be thinking about the emotions that we're feeling and using those and putting those into our artwork. Now, those of you that know me and have seen my artwork, you will know, will have heard me talk about how much art means to me. It is everything, and it is especially my way of expressing the way that I'm feeling, and that's what I want to help you learn how to do. So the project that we're doing is broken up into 3 parts. So this part today is like the base layer. So artwork often is built up. It's not always just done in one go. It's a process of layering. So we are doing that base layer, that background layer today. So the things that you're going to need for today's lesson, ideally, if you have it, an A3 piece of paper. Okay, so that's like 2 A4 pieces together. If you don't have that, a normal piece of paper will be absolutely fine. Or if you have something extra special like a canvas at home, go for that as well. Okay, but the larger you can get it, the better, really. You also need a piece of paper that you can make some notes on, a pencil to write with, and then colour, lots of colour. So I know that whatever you've got at home is going to be quite different. Ideally, this will be done with paints just because there's a lot more you can do with it. So if you have poster paint, watercolour, or maybe you even have acrylic paint at home, any of those paints would be wonderful. If you don't have those, don't worry. You can do this with whatever you have. So you might have chalks or pastels, oil pastels or soft pastels. You might have crayons, felt tips, any kind of art pens, whatever you have, even if it's just colouring pencils, something like that, then grab hold of that now and get yourself ready. Okay. So the first part of our project is really taking some time to think about how you are feeling, because we are going to be using our emotions to create our artwork today. So what I would like you to do is just to close your eyes and take a moment. I want you to concentrate on your breathing. So we're going to do 3 deep breaths in a moment. Now, if it's a deep breath, I want you breathing in through your nose, and you should feel your chest and even your tummy bloating out, expanding, okay? And then breathe out. You can either breathe out through your nose again or through your mouth. If you're feeling a little bit tense, then sometimes just puffing that out through your mouth can be quite helpful. So I want you just to take a moment and breathe in and out. You can pause the video now and do that 3 times. Okay, so now that you've had your breaths, I would like you to keep your eyes closed and really just focus in on how you're feeling right now. What is it that you're feeling inside? What emotions can you sense? There might be lots of different ones. So you might be happy, or you might be sad, or you might be both. You might be feeling quite calm and relaxed, or you might be a little bit stressed and feeling a little bit tense like this, okay? You might be feeling quite loving and enjoying some cuddles at home or anything like that, or you might be feeling cross about something. However you're feeling, just take a moment, and you can do those breaths again and just really think about how you're feeling. So pause the video now, take a few moments, breathe, and think of how you're feeling. Okay, I hope you have quite a good idea now. So what I'd like you to do, you can do this in 2 different ways. On your note piece of paper, jot down either just some words that you're feeling, ideally about 10, I'd say 5 to 10 words, just how you're feeling inside. Okay, now I've got a slide here that has got some ideas of the words, and we've got words like curious, confident, joyous, scared, free, courageous, anxious, pained, affectionate. So that's that loving feeling that I talked to you about. Humour. So you might be finding things quite funny today, or feeling in one of those silly moods. Okay, however you're feeling, either write the word down, or you can draw a little picture. So a lot of people use emojis. So something like that instead. So pause the video now and write down your 5 to 10 words. Okay, well done. Right, the next part then. So keep your list next to you. Have a look at these colours on here and then have a think about those words that you have got. Have a think, which colours do you link to the emotions you're feeling today? Okay, now you can either write the colour next to it, or if you have your colours ready, you might want to go over the word with it, or you might want to just pop it next to it, okay? But have a look at your feelings and put the colour next to it. Pause your video now and take a few moments to do that. Okay, well done. So the next part, I want you to have a look at this. Now this is an emotions wheel. On here, just like our colour wheel, so those of you that have been taught by me before will know that I'm quite fond of our colour wheel here. Now, this emotions wheel in particular has assigned feelings to colours. Now, yours might be completely different, and that is absolutely fine. They might be the same. That's fine too, okay? You might have noticed that perhaps inside you're actually feeling some contrasting feelings. So you might be feeling quite happy on one hand, but you might be feeling quite sad on the other. So you might be happy actually that you're home and you're safe and you're well. You might be feeling quite sad that actually you're not around your friends, and that's fine. I have so many emotions in one day. It's crazy. And often they are contrasting emotions. So you might have found that you've got contrasting colours on your note page here. And a contrasting colour, just as a little bit of a reminder, are those colours that are opposite each other on the colour wheel. So whatever side you are, whatever colour you're looking at, those contrasting colours are the opposite. And those colours, when used together, they pop out, they're quite exciting. Okay, you might find that actually your words are all quite similar. So if you're feeling happy, you might have like happy, joy, laughter, words like that are all quite similar, and they might all have a very similar colour. And those colours, when they're similar and close together on the colour wheel, they are called colour harmonies. Okay, and they are very good when you are doing things like backgrounds or when you're blending, shading, things like that. Okay, so it's really quite good to have a little bit of a mixture of both, depending on how you're feeling. So have a look at those colours, and we are going to use those in our piece of artwork today. We are going to create an emotions background. Now, like I said before, we are creating this artwork and it's going to be made up of layers. This is your base layer. This is your background, okay? You're thinking about your words, you're thinking about those colours that they are linked to, and you are just going to create. You cannot get this wrong. There is no right or wrong. This is simply a page of colour that is going to show how you're feeling. It's going to represent you and how you're feeling right now. So whatever medium you've got available, whether it is paint or whether it is chalks, I would like you to simply apply it to the page. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can do that. Now, this is one that I did. Okay, just as a little bit of a demonstration. I use paint for this because that's what I have available here. And what I did was, this is quite a fun process, and this is what is so much fun about abstract art. It's all about the process, the doing of it. And what I did here is I literally chose my colours and I put them straight onto the canvas. Now, if I show you up and close, can you see all of that texture on there? Now that's because I then used a bit of wood and I put it on top and I poured it away, and then you get these lovely lumpy bits here. Okay, I then used a sponge, okay, and I went around and I sponged certain places, and you can get a really nice texture with the sponge. Then I did use a paintbrush, but not to paint with in the traditional way. So you will need to check with your parents. If you've got paint and you would like to try this, then you need to check and okay it with your parents first. But what you can do is you can put some paint on the paintbrush, and if one of those feelings is a bit tense or a bit anxious or a bit angry, then you can kind of just splat it onto your paper. That can be quite messy, so you will need to set up properly for that, okay? The other way, a little bit more controlled way of doing it, if you want those lovely splats, which can sometimes look like snow or rain on a page, then you can hold your hand out and you can just tap your paintbrush against your hand like that. There's also things like palette knives. Okay, so and actually you could probably use anything flexible, like if you've got any of the plastic cutlery in your house, you could use the fork or the knife or even the spoon of that and spread the paint with that. Again, check with your parents, don't just go and grab something. Okay, and then actually if you've got something like chalks or pastels, okay, then they're really good actually, because it takes, especially oil pastels, they can take quite a bit of force and to get that lovely colour, lovely thick colour onto the page. And then don't be afraid to use your hands as well. If you don't have any of that equipment, please don't worry, you have your hands, okay? So really is about whatever you have available and putting that colour onto the page and creating an explosion of colour, shall we say, a piece of artwork, a background piece that is just representing how you are feeling. Okay, I look forward to seeing them and I can't wait to see you for the next part. Bye.